Hello, here we are with an unboxing of the Sony Xperia P. This is the silver version. There is too a black version available. Known as the LT22i, it supports 850, 900, 1800 and 1900 MHz for GSM and GPRS, and 3G bands 1, 2, 5 and 8. But what that actually means is it supports 850, 900, 1900 and 2100 MHz for 3G. So this is the official packaging for the UK spec device, and we've got a rundown of some of the key specs on the back of the box here. So it's got white magic technology, so that's the sort of experience that you get actually on the screen with the moving graphics. We've got Bravia mobile engine technology. This is developed from Sony displays and they've brought it to mobile. We've got XMOR technology for the camera, so better pictures. We've got an 8 megapixel camera. We've got a dual core processor at 1 GHz here. We've got a quarter HD resolution display, and that display is 4 inches in size, records in 1080p. We've got 3D panorama sweep technology for photos. We've got HDMI out, we've got DLNA. So all in all, this is a pretty well spec'd device and is the sort of baby brother, if you like, to the Sony Xperia S, and is designed to be a little bit more cost effective. But it does have some advantages in terms of its actual size and the actual look of the unit. So here we are with the box contents. So first of all, we've got a set of fairly basic in-ear headphones with a 3.5mm jack, inline control, a set of replacement earbuds and a clip for your clothing. We've then got a 3-pin UK mains adapter. It's got a USB port on it, and we've got this sort of retractable pin here for UK mains. We then get supplied a micro USB to USB cable. Now you connect one end into the charger for charging the device and the other end into the device itself. You can use this same cable for connecting the device to a computer for actually transferring data to it. We then get supplied with a HDMI to micro HDMI cable. So this will allow you to take HD content from the actual Xperia P itself out to an HD display. So perfect if you want to show photos, videos to friends and family. Just connect it up to an HD screen and you can share that content nice and easily. We've then got some documentation here for the Xperia P, so a startup guide, some warranty information and declaration, fairly non-interesting stuff. We've then got a screen protector with screen cleaning cloth and applicator card. That's quite a nice addition to get in the box. It's rare to get that on with any other smartphone, but Sony do include them. They do also have one already applied to the device itself, so an added benefit there. And then we've got the phone itself. So that's all you get in the actual box. Okay, so taking a look at the device itself, here it is. This is the Xperia P in silver. Like I say, you can get it in black as well. Now before we run down all the specs on this device, I'm just going to bring in the Sony Xperia S, and this is the big brother to the Xperia P, to just give you an idea of some of the similarities and key differences. So if you put them together like that, you can see that the Xperia S is the slightly bigger device, but you can also see where there's a lot of similarities in the design and form factor. So we've got a 4-inch screen on the Xperia P and a 4.3 on the Xperia S. We've got 16 gig of memory on the P, 32 on the Xperia S. We've still got this transparent bar down here that illuminates. Materials are very similar. Don't quote me on this, but the Xperia P actually feels a little bit more premium, a little bit less plasticky. We've got a similar sort of design on the back here with the Sony mobile logo as well. One of the key differences, which I think is quite important for a lot of people, is the location of the power button. We've got the power button actually on this side of the Xperia P rather than the top on the Xperia S. Now, it's not to everyone's taste, but quite a lot of people like the power button on the side. They find it a little bit easier to access. And another thing for me personally is on the Xperia P, there's no covers over the micro USB or HDMI connection where there are on the Xperia S. Now, it looks quite nice on the Xperia S when the covers are all closed, but it can be a little bit of a fiddle to connect the cables for charging or data output. So that's a quick look at the Xperia S in comparison to the P. So let's just actually boot this on. So it's got a fixed internal battery on the Xperia P like it has on the Xperia S, which is a bit of a drawback for some people and not to everyone's taste. It's a 1300 milliamp hour battery or somewhere around that. And then on the front here, we've got the front-facing video camera, so for doing your video calls. We've then got this clear bar, which illuminates when in use, and this is where the antenna for the signal is housed. In terms of actual buttons, like the Xperia S, you've got the back, home, and menu key, and you have to actually press just above each one, not actually on the clear bar to activate those. So we've got the touchscreen on the front. Then on the side of the device, we've got the micro USB connection here. We've got the micro HDMI connection, so for sharing content to a larger display. We've then got here on the side the SIM card slot. It's a micro SIM card in here that you actually have to put in the device, and you've got a cover over that. That's the only cover you've got. You've got sort of like a screw on here which sort of takes away from a little bit of the design, but it's not hideous. Down the bottom we've got what seems to be a microphone. Coming around to the other side, we've got this sort of screw design again. We've got a dedicated camera button, which is nice to see. More and more devices are moving away from dedicated camera buttons. We've got a volume up and down key, we've got the power button, and then we've got the loudspeaker. On the top we've got the 3.5mm headphone jack, and then we come round to the back where we've got the rear facing 8 megapixel camera with autofocus and LED flash, and then we've got all of the Sony technology on board to give a good photo experience, and Sony are one of the better at giving or providing images, in my opinion. Some other cameras can be, whilst high resolution, not particularly good quality when you really look at them in detail, where the Sony tend to be quite good. So let's just run through the setup quickly on the Xperia P. So it's an Android device. It's actually running Android version 2.3 at the moment, but it will be upgradable to Ice Cream Sandwich later on this year. It may already be out by the time you're watching this video, but at the time of recording, Ice Cream Sandwich is not available. We got the 1 GHz dual core processor under here, so it's pretty snappy and will do most of the things you want it to do. But if you're a hardcore gamer, you may now be looking at the quad core devices. But what the Xperia P does is offer a really good all-round phone. It's a mid-range device that's going to perform well. It's not going to cost you the earth, and you should in theory be very happy with it. So let's just go into the settings and confirm some of these details for you. So here we go, we've got the LT22i and it's running Android version 2.3.7. Let's just take a look at the language options. So it's defaulted to English, but you can select through quite an extensive list of languages. If you want to actually change the menu on your phone into one of these different languages, you can. So English may not be your default or your first language, should I say. so you can change to one of these languages here. However, English might be your first language, or you may choose one of the others, but you may also communicate in another language. You can change the writing languages, and you've got a whole list of different languages here. Now you can check out a more detailed video on languages on our YouTube channel, but if I was to select a couple, we can come out and we can go into the messaging. We can start a new message, and you'll see here that we've actually got the sort of standard keyboard in European, but we can switch through one of the different languages that we've selected. So here we've got an Arabic keyboard, and we can then type our message away in our preferred language. So that's really useful. And this keyboard will display in various applications from email through to the web browser. Let's just go back into the settings and show you the storage on the phone. So the way they've split the memory down, whilst there's 16 gig on board, there's only about 11 gig actually available for storage of music and things like that, and you've got 1.77 gig available for things like applications. So whilst it is 16 gig, it's not obvious through the actual settings menu. We've got Bluetooth on here, we've got Wi-Fi, we've got NFC on here as well, so you can use things such as the Sony Xperia smart tags, which are interesting accessories that allow you to automate some tasks on your device. So connected up to the wireless network, let's just go into the web browser and navigate to a web page. So connecting over Wi-Fi here. Now it's defaulted to the mobile site for the BBC, but I've gone into landscape mode. I can operate in portrait mode if I choose, and I can flick it around pretty much whichever way I like, with the exception of that. And then you can view the web page as you choose. So let's go to the desktop site to give you an idea of the experience, and let's just go on to a news article. So the pages will render as best they can for the mobile device, so it's brought in the whole page, but you can double tap in and it'll zoom into the text and render it for viewing actually on the phone in an ideal way like that. So we've looked at the messaging, let's look at the phone. You've got the sort of standard dialer there. It's got the Sony customization on here. We've got the media options, we've got an FM radio. Let's just go and take a look at the camera application on the Xperia. So here we are with the 8 megapixel camera. We can flick between video and still images like so, and then the icon here will change whether we're recording video or still images. We've then got some options to change some of the settings, so we can flick to the front facing camera and record video, or we can pop back to the rear facing camera. We've got scene modes, we've got exposure, we've got the option for the video light to be on or off. If we go to the camera, we've got more scene modes, so we can flick then to the front facing camera. We've got this panorama, and then this 3D option as well, which is a nice feature for those of you who've got 3D tellies. We've got the ability to switch on or off the flash, and then we've got some more settings by actually pressing the menu button. So it's not the most extensive range of options on the Xperia P for the camera, but it's got everything you need to, and there's so many add-on apps that you can now get that expand the capabilities further, so for additional things like effects, if you're into that sort of thing and in customizing your photos further. So there's a lot of pre-installed applications, as you'd come to expect, on the Xperia P. So all the Google services, from Gmail to Google Talk to navigation, because this has got GPS on board. But you've got Facebook pre-installed on here. You've got some Sony services like Music Unlimited and Video Unlimited to access that sort of content. You've got Track ID, which is Sony's answer to Soundhorn or Shazam. Google Search, you've got Google Plus installed on here as well. So there's quite a few bits and pieces to get us going. We've got additional things such as Liveware Manager, which is good for managing accessories that we may connect. We've got a barcode reader with Neo Reader there. We've got Tags application, Astro File Manager as well. So quite a few nice things here. Let's actually just go and take a look at some video playback. So we're going into the YouTube application here. We're just connecting over the wireless, and let's just take a video here.
Here we are with a side-by-side comparison of the LG Optimus 4X HD against the HTC.
So there's the playback on screen, it's quite good.
Two white models of each device here.
We can increase the volume.
Very similar devices, both quad-core phones. The 1X.
Now the speaker is here on the side, and you can sort of get that impression when actually holding it. It sounds a little bit like it's focused to the right. I mean, it's being picky, it's not ideal, but it would have been nice to see another speaker on the other side to give more of a stereo effect. But the sound quality is quite good. It's not tinny like some devices can be. Just coming back to the original Xperia S, this is what I use as my daily sort of phone, and I can actually say just after a short while with the Xperia P, it feels quite comfortable in hand. It doesn't feel quite as awkward as the Xperia S. The Xperia S, because of the larger screen, can be harder to actually hold in the palm of your hand. Now it does have an effect based on the size of your hands, but this just sits in the hand quite comfortably. You can scroll around screens one-handed. I've got access to the power button, so should the backlight go off, I can easily press that, and it just feels a fairly good device. I like the silver finish on it, but it does come in black as well. And I think all in all, the Xperia P could be a really good device. Be sure to check back on our YouTube channel and our blog, which is blog.clove.uk, for a full review of this device and other sort of more detailed videos looking at languages and things like that. So that is the Sony Xperia P, available from clove.co.uk.